everybody. My name is Amy and I'm a children's librarian at the Benjamin L. Hook Central Library, and today we're going to be sharing a fairy tale. Well, what is a fairy tale? A fairy tale is magical, imaginary beings and lands, stories about them. So, look at the stories I have all around me. They are all fairy tales. I have Snow White, I have Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood. So, did you know that all these fairy tales have similar characteristics? Well, they do. Let's review some of those characteristics up at my board. Boys and girls, fairy tales often begin with once upon a time. They have good and evil characters. You will find royalty within the stories, magical elements, spells, enchantments. You'll often see objects, people, or events in threes. You will see that there's a problem or a conflict that needs to be solved. They often have happy endings and teach a lesson or demonstrate values that are important to a culture. Now, today, the Silver Lining Puppet Players are going to perform a popular fairy tale called Rumpelstiltskin. And while you're watching the performance, I would like for you to see if you can spot some of these characteristics that we reviewed today. Remember to stay tuned after the show so I can show you a craft activity where you can make your own spinning toy. Now I think we're ready for the puppet show. We hope you enjoy.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a poor miller and his beautiful daughter. The miller's daughter, Carmela, often found herself the subject of her father's tall tales. The villagers, knowing the miller's tendency to exaggerate, dismissed his stories. But one day, the miller's claim that his daughter Carmela could spin straw into gold was overheard by the king's most noble servant. Word spread quickly, as you can imagine, and the miller and his daughter were summoned to the king's castle.
I'd like to thank you both for your presence here today. It has come to my attention, Miller, that not only can your daughter bake the most delicious loaves of bread in the land, but that she can also spin straw into gold. Is that true?
Well, you see...
Wait. Before you answer, I must tell you that your claim, although inconceivable, intrigues me greatly. If your daughter, in fact, can spin straw into gold for me, I will offer you both a job in the royal kitchen and a home in my castle. However, if she cannot do as you've boasted, I shall have you imprisoned, sir, for spreading such a falsehood.
Your Majesty, although it pains me to say this, I have told a
lot of whoppers, right, Father? But this one happens to be true.
No, Carmela, no. You mustn't lie for me.
Did you, poor Miller, just admit to lying?
No, Your Majesty. He is just fearful that my gift will be taken advantage of. I will spin you gold, mountains of it, if you agree to let my father go free.
No, Carmela, you mustn't!
Take the miller away. Did I hear correctly, my dear? Did you say mountains of gold?
Yes, Your Majesty.
All right. I shall have the guards release your father. He'll be free to return to the village.
Thank you, Your Highness. Now, in order to fulfill your request, I need a room full of straw, a spinning wheel, and a miracle.
What? What was the last thing you said, my dear?
Oh, it was nothing, sir. Just wishful thinking.
Oh my, it's quite a feat climbing all those tower stairs. I had no idea I was this out of shape. Well, here it is. Your very own room is promised. I hope that you will find everything satisfactory. I will leave you now to work, but Carmela, heed my fair warning. I will be extremely disappointed if there is no gold in the morning.
As the door slammed shut and was locked, Carmela soon realized that there was no escape and began to cry. Suddenly, there was a clap of thunder and a flash of light. As Carmela turned to the window, she let out a gasp, for there before her stood a strange little man holding what appeared to be a handkerchief.
Who are you? How did you come to be in this room?
Oh, never mind that, my fair maiden. I heard you crying and thought you might need this.
Oh, how kind of you.
Oh, no, you keep it. Might I ask, though, why have you been crying?
I am crying because I fear for my life. You see, the king is expecting me to spin all this straw into gold by morning, a task which can't possibly be done.
No, it can't be done by you, my dear. Put your faith in me and give me that necklace around your neck, and by morn gold you'll see.
Carmela turned over her necklace without hesitation. She was then instructed to cover her eyes as the strange little man set himself at the wheel to spin. As the wheel spun round and round, he chanted,
Whirl my wheel faster and faster, do exactly as you're told. This young fair maiden needs our help, spin this straw into gold. Whirl, whirl, faster and faster, this job is nearly done. Open your eyes, Carmela, your precious gold has been spun. Ha 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 ha!
Carmela uncovered her eyes and found herself surrounded by the finest gold. When she went to thank the strange little man, she discovered he'd vanished. The locked door then opened, and the king, spying the room full of gold, said,
My, oh my, what a surprise! I can hardly, my dear, believe my eyes. Carmela, I order you to spin me more gold.
Yes, your majesty, I'll do what I'm told.
The piles of gold were collected, and the room replenished with even more straw for Carmela to spin. As she looked around, she felt overwhelmed and again began to cry.
Please, my dear, stop boo-hoo-hooing. I'll spin this straw into gold. All that's required in return is the precious ring that you hold.
My ring? I can't. It was my mother's. It's all that I have left of her.
Then I must bid you farewell. I wish you the best of luck.
Wait! Stop, please! You must help me.
The strange little man then held out his hand and said,
I'll fill this room with gold for the king, but first you'll have to cough up the ring.
Carmela reluctantly placed the ring in his palm. She then covered her eyes as the strange little man took his place at the wheel to spin. As the wheel spun round and around, he chanted,
Whirl my wheel faster and faster, do exactly as you're told. This young fair maiden needs our help, spin this straw into gold. Whirl, whirl, faster and faster, this job is nearly done. Open your eyes, Carmela, your precious gold has been spun. Ha 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 ha!
When Carmela uncovered her eyes, The strange little man was gone, but the entire room was filled with the most brilliant gold. That morning the king entered the room and said,
My, oh my, what a surprise! I can hardly, my dear, believe my eyes. If you spin once more and succeed, I promise, Carmela, to make you my queen.
Again, the piles of gold were collected and the room replenished with even more straw for Carmela to spin. As she looked around, she fell to the ground, but instead of crying, she immediately began shouting for the strange little man to appear.
Little man, please help me. Help me one last time. The king has promised if I'm successful, I'll become his bride.
Well, my, someone's moving up in the world. What trinket do you have to offer me this time?
I've given you all my precious possessions. I have nothing left to offer you.
You must pay for services, my dear. Let's strike a deal. I'll spin you gold one last time if you promise me your firstborn child.
Carmela, having no choice, agreed, and the strange little man took his place at the spinning wheel and began to chant.
Whirl my wheel faster and faster, do exactly as you're told. This young fair maiden needs our help, spin this straw into gold. Whirl, whirl faster and faster, this job is nearly done. Open your eyes, Carmela, your precious gold has been spun.
That morning the king, overjoyed at the sight of all the gold Carmela had spun, said,
You have passed your final test, but before we wed, I must know how a miller's daughter can spin straw into gold.
Your Majesty, I must admit to you now that it was not I that spun the gold. It was the work of a strange little man, a man sly, clever, and old. Though my confession to you may cost me my life, I believe you deserve a truthful wife.
As you know, I value honesty above all else. Sacrificing yourself in order to save your father was quite admirable, and evidence of your strong character and loving nature. Please accept my apology. I've been so blinded by greed that I failed to see the true treasure in front of me. I'd be delighted and honored if you would agree, my dear Carmela, to be my queen.
And so the king and the miller's daughter were married, and the kingdom rejoiced. A year later, the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Not long thereafter, the queen heard a familiar sound.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
Remember, Queen, you gave me your word. A year ago this time. You wed the king, you had a child, and now the child you hold is mine.
Oh, please! I beg you not to take my daughter. You may have anything else in the kingdom you want.
I do not desire riches. I can spend my own gold. I've come to collect my payment. It's the child I long to hold.
No, you can't. You can't. Please, I beg you.
Please, my dear, stop your boo-hoo-hooing. I'll give you a chance. You have 3 days to play my game. You may keep the child if you can guess my name.
The queen paced the floor all night thinking of names. When the strange little man arrived the next day, she asked,
Is your name Poindexter?
No.
Richard?
No.
Franklin or Blake?
N-O, no.
Is it Higginbotham?
No.
Boris?
No.
Shredder or Drake?
No, I'm afraid you have not guessed the right name. Remember, my queen, only 2 days remain.
That night, the queen sent out messengers in search of more names. She paced the floor back and forth as she eagerly awaited their findings. Exhausted from the night's events, the queen fell fast asleep next to her daughter's cradle. The next morning, a familiar sound startled her awake.
Wake up, it's time to play. It's time to play our guessing game.
Is your name Flyswatter?
No.
Jabberblabber?
No.
Giggleguts or Barry?
N-O, no.
Is it Gobstopper?
No.
Amos?
No.
Stinky Pants or Larry?
Now you're just being ridiculous. I'm afraid you still have not guessed the right name. Remember, my queen, only 1 day remains.
That night, messengers scavenged the countryside in search of more names for the queen. In the deep, dark wood, sensing victory, the strange little man danced around his campfire chanting,
Tomorrow at sunrise, I'll collect my prize. The child the queen bore will be mine. The queen will never win this game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name. Rumpelstiltskin is my name. Rumpelstiltskin is my name. The queen will never win this game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name. Ha 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 ha!
That morning, one of the queen's messengers reported that he had seen a strange little man dancing in the deep, dark wood, chanting the most unusual name, and he shared it with her. The queen, now confident that she knew the correct name, waited calmly for her visitor to arrive.
Well, Carmela, it's your final test. Go ahead. Give it your best.
Is it Wafflebrain, Shivershanks, Cootie Catcher, or Grumpy? Is it Booger Breath, Cheeseball, Liver Lips, or Dumpy?
None of those are the right name. Now hand over the child. I've won the game.
Wait! Is it McSnotty, Chuckle Chunks, Fiddlesticks, or Wren? Why, can it be Rumpelstiltskin?
Who told you? Who told you? No! No! No!
The strange little man became so angry and stomped his feet so hard that a hole opened up in the floor and swallowed him. At last, the child was safe, and Carmela's life, like her name's meaning, was golden. And the man, known as Rumpelstiltskin, was never seen or heard from again.
Starting July 7th, I will have these packets available at the Benjamin L. Hooks Library. And this you can make your spinning toy with. let me explain what is all in the packet. You're going to receive a template. And I've highlighted special lines on the template because you're going to cut those. And let me show you what you're going to do after you cut those. You're just going to cut along the highlighted portion. Just like this. And then you're going to fold over like this, each of those to make flaps. And then you'll just put them back up slightly and it should look like this. Don't worry, I didn't forget the golds. We have a gold gem that you can glue. So you're just going to put a little glue on your gold gem. And you're going to stick it to the back of the template. Like this. You're going to push it down real tight. Now, you can do lots of things with your template. You can color it different colors. You can draw, we have pencils, you can draw different designs and then color and fill them in. I have an example where somebody wrote their name and made designs. That was really fun. And I have another one that someone just colored, which is very pretty. Now, these are special because when you set them down and you blow above them, they spin. Just like that, like magic. So now, again, beginning July 7th, the packets will be available at the library for you to make your own spinning toy. We thank you for watching, and so long. We'll see you again next time. Bye.